Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. With social media, the truth is really coming out about how corrupt and anti-Sikh these Yogi Bhajan tantric Kundalini yogis are. You'll see here that a Hari Simran car from Espanola, New Mexico, where the base of the Yogi Bhajan tantric yogis is located, has committed a real beadbi against Guru Gobind Singh Ji. She says here in this comment on Facebook, he, Yogi Bhajan, might almost be better than Guru Gobind Singh. He was way more compassionate about others and wanted to spread Sikhi to those who were lost. This is just outrageous. Sikhs cannot stand by and just let this beadbi continue. The 3HO people must be confronted. As Sikhs, we have a duty to support Gurbani and to stand up for correct Sikh ways of teaching. We need to confront these Yogi Bhajan people. This includes SikhNet. This includes all of the Yogi Bhajan people down there in Espanola, New Mexico, and at all these Yogi Bhajan dairies that are throughout the world. You can see here this whole thread. I'll put a link to the whole thread where this Hari Simran car is commenting and responding to a Kulvinder car. Like I said, it's just outrageous and completely unacceptable. Now, in some ways, the Yogi Bhajan people are not to blame directly. Yogi Bhajan himself stated, Guru Gobind Singh forgot somewhere to write that the Khalsa shall do Pooran Praan Tapaa. That's the only way I can figure it out. This is a statement by Yogi Bhajan stated in the Sikh Dharma Brotherhood magazine in spring 1977. Now you can see this statement and more of these egomaniac utterances by Yogi Bhajan, which were recorded in a book by Dr. Shalochan Singh from 1977. The book is called Sikhism and Tantric Yoga, and you can access it at the link which I'll provide there in the description to this video. I'm going to read a section from Dr. Shalochan Singh's book where he talks specifically about this outrageous statement by Yogi Bhajan and how Yogi Bhajan thought he was greater than Guru Gobind Singh Ji. So this is from Sikhism and Tantric Yoga by Dr. Shalochan Singh. Guru Gobind Singh could not do what we have done, claims Yogi Bhajan. In my personal experience as gross human body, it is the time in the world the real perfect shape of the Khalsa came into existence. It didn't happen in the name of Guru Gobind Singh. I see and look back at the Sikh history. We have done, a handful of us, a more tremendous sacrifice for the sake of humanity on this planet than anybody can even relate to. These are statements by Yogi Bhajan. But I should say, as an honest historian, that when I look back accurately at Sikh history, the Sikh woman was a great woman and she was a Sikh. But in the West, I see the woman in a very elaborate and equal state of consciousness, to be a Khalsa. One question is, why are the Sikhs who have the prosperity losing their prospect? I have the answer to that. Because they have forgotten the great secret practices that were given to them. Why are we American Sikhs out of the total insanity becoming totally creative? Because we are practicing those practices, and that is all. This is from the Sikh Dharma Brotherhood, 1976, Yogi Bhajan's lectures, page 9. The title page of this journal carries a picture of this Guru Gobind Singh Torah, who was the president of the SGBC at the time. As we all know, he was very corrupt. When the Darbar Sahib was attacked by Indira Gandhi in 1984, this Guru Gobind Singh Torah put up his hands and surrendered. Now this is, again, more from Dr. Chalochan Singh's book. Guru Gobind Singh forgot to write Pooran Praan Tapaa. But what is that meditation? The meditation is not just coming to the Guru. The meditation is like this. This is quotations from Yogi Bhajan again. Suppose on Sunday we are to come and present ourselves to the Guru. On Saturday we start preparing for it. That is how it works. 24 hours earlier than the action of infinity. If a person starts thinking cosmically that he has to go and present himself to the Guru and starts purifying and preparing himself, they call it meditation. Pooran Praan Tapaa, remember this technique of words. Pooran means complete. Pran means prana, the life force. Tapa means the action of purification. It is known as Pooran Praan Tapaa. It is a kind of meditation. This has nothing to do with Gurbani, and Yogi Bhajan is just talking nonsense. Of all the meditations written and known for the human, this is the highest, and that is why the mantra Guru Gobind Singh gave us was the Guru mantra. Why Guru Gobind Singh forgot somewhere to write that the Khalsa shall do Pooran Praan Tapaa. Again, this is Yogi Bhajan talking. That is the only way I can figure it out. Otherwise, the factual effect of giving a human the Guru mantra, Waheguru, is only that it states a positive intuition. Wah, the grace, wonderful is the Lord. Again, this is from Dr. Chalochan Singh's book, Sikhism and Tantra Yoga, which you can download for free at the link that I will provide below, the entire book. Sikh Dharma, Volume 3, Number 1, Spring 1977. Guru Gobind Singh sowed the seed of the Khalsa wrongly, says Yogi Bhajan. Now this is Dr. Chalochan Singh speaking, giving an account of his experience with Yogi Bhajan. He spent months with Yogi Bhajan in 1977. The eminent scientist, Dr. Manochar Singh Grewal of Boston, is popular both among American Sikhs and Indian Sikhs. Like his grandfather, Bhai Sahib Harbhajan Singh, who was leader of the Jaitum Morcha agitation, he is a conscientious and devoted Sikh. When he went to Los Angeles, he visited the 3HO headquarters of Yogi Bhajan, who was there. It appears that Dr. Grewal's humility and gentle nature provoked his vanity under the uncontrolled impulse of which Yogi Bhajan said in the course of talks, Guru Gobind Singh has sowed the seed of the Khalsa wrongly. Guru Gobind Singh ne Khalsa dabish hai galat la a. Controlling his emotions at these outrageous utterances, Dr. Grewal retorted, "How can you say such a thing?" And Yogi Bhajan, as usual, started rationalizing his statement. In the first week of June 1977, Gurbanda Singh of Washington, whose arrogance is well known, addressed a Sikh congregation in which 3HO people were also present at Vermont in this speech, which is always snobbish in tone and material. He tried to prove that the American Sikhs were very pious and holy, while the Indian Sikhs were irreligious, profane, puttits, and so on. Even in his writings, the few articles on Yogi Bhajan cult he has written, his tone is the same. Sardar Kehar Singh, an eminent engineer, immediately stood up and took him to task, took Yogi Bhajan to task. He told him and all those 3HO men and women who think and act like him, "We are fed up with your attempts to make us feel guilty of not being Sikhs. We are Sikhs, and in many, many ways are far better than you people." His angry attack on the typical snobbery of the 3HO leaders was disarming. It is at this moment Dr. Grewal brought out in the open Yogi Bhajan's attempt to insult and underestimate even Guru Gobind Singh. He mentioned the Los Angeles incident and told the congregation that Yogi Bhajan goes to the extent of saying that Guru Gobind Singh sowed the seed of the Khalsa wrongly and implying that he was correcting it. While the underlings among the 3HO devotees are quiet, unassuming, and very devout and sincere, the leaders act exactly as their master has trained them. Now this shows how this Hari Simrankar, who made this earlier statement that I read on Facebook, is just following in the path of Yogi Bhajan and following Yogi Bhajan's teachings. Because this is how Yogi Bhajan taught us. I was in 3HO for 30 years, and I'm well acquainted with these insane and absolutely arrogant statements that Yogi Bhajan used to make. We all thought that the Indian Sikhs were completely non-Sikhs, basically, or Pandits, as Yogi Bhajan used to call them. And we all thought that 3HO and the white Sikhs in the West would lead Sikhi into this new Aquarian age, as Yogi Bhajan put it. So again, Dr. Shalochan Singh says, I do not blame them entirely for it. It is because of their haughtiness, overbearing, and insulting attitude towards the Indian Sikhs that they neither learn anything beyond what Yogi Ji says, nor do they seem to know the long-term consequences of the rejecting truth from every quarter and blindly accepting mumbo-jumbo cult ideas from Yogi Bhajan. They perhaps seriously believe that Guru Tegh Bahadur prophesied that a great master, Yogi Bhajan, would create the new Khalsa in the West and invade India to bring the Aquarian age. The British invented this story for themselves. Now these are Dr. Shalochan Singh's comments as the author. He goes on to say, wherever I went in the USA, even people very friendly to Yogi Bhajan informed me that he pretended to have done more than Guru Gobind Singh did, and his vanity and egomaniac haughtiness had gone to the extent of saying in a gathering that he can even shake the gaudy throne of Guru Nanak. I did not take these stories seriously and refused to believe them, but I was shocked to read the aforementioned statements published within the last 12 months or so. But when I saw these insulting remarks heaped on Guru Gobind Singh in print, the shock became unbearable. A devout Sikh goes to the Guru every morning, and not only on Sundays, and Sunday was never observed as a day of congregational worship throughout history. Bhai Nan Lai tells us in Sangi Nam that though the Sikhs go to the temple or the Guru for formal worship every morning, but for congregational worship, the Sikhs gathered together twice a month on Sankranti and Messiah, the first day of the Indian lunar calendar, in the middle of the month according to lunar days. In the Code of the Conduct given to the Khalsa, or Hetnamas, the Gurus have clearly stated that a Sikh should not perform yoga asanas, nor believe in mantras, yantras, and other absurdities quoted in this chapter and practiced and preached by Yogi Bhajan. There is no such word as Pooran Praan Tapaa mantra in any dictionary in any Indian language. It is perhaps the silliest of all Yogi Bhajan's absurd brainwaves, which shows more of his ignorance than wisdom of Sikh history and scriptures. Sometimes I doubt if he has once gone through the Sikh scriptures. Even without understanding them, he possibly could not. Up till recently, he did not know the language of the scriptures, and I am more than certain that he cannot interpret even 10 pages of it correctly. Yet he, Yogi Bhajan, sincerely believes that he can fool the ignorant American Sikhs to believe that he is the super Messiah of the age, and they at least must believe that he is greater than the Sikh Gurus, and he has done what the Gurus were unable to do. We will study in detail how he has built himself as the Western Pope of the Sikhs, the only Mahan Tantric in the world, and perhaps the only person who could tell so many lies about himself and make every American followers of his believe it. If the Americans want to understand and practice the true meditations of Sikhs, faith, and move on the path with humility and wisdom, as Sikh saints all over the world have done, they will have to throw all this rubbish that Yogi Bhajan is stuffing into their minds and into the dustbin, and take it for granted that his knowledge of Sikh mysticism and the Khalsa holy order is pedestrian and less than elementary. With such absurdities in their heads and sacrilegious notions and practice of the Sikh mantras, they will be in mind, soul, and spirit as far away from Sikhism as any ignorant non-Sikh, even though they may put on the Sikh appearance and dress, which no doubt is very important. So this ends the quotations from Dr. Talochan Singh's book. Now this is a quotation from one of these Yogi Bhajan leaders and henchmen. He says here, this Hari Jivan, the master Yogi Bhajan later explained to me that was the way it was supposed to be, as it was the beginning of the switch in Sikh leadership from the Indian community to the American Sikh yogis, recognized or not. So you can just see the arrogance of these Yogi Bhajan people. This was in a letter that Hari Jivan sent out, dated June 24th, 2011. And here again is this statement by this Hari Simrankar about how she sees Yogi Bhajan as being greater than Guru Gobind Singh Ji. Let's write to these 3HO people, let's confront them, and let's teach them about the correct Sikh ways and about Gurbani and how the Sikh Gurus were teaching the correct Sikh path and how they need to completely get rid of these Yogi Bhajan teachings, which are only leading them down the wrong path and twisting Gurbani and Sikhi. Thank you for your time. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.